This meme is presented for educational and entertainment purposes. The characters are fictional and any similarities to actual identities are coincidental. This information is not put forth as a description of black women, but rather an observation of how others often see black women. We have already discussed the main stereotypes for black females in the film recording industry, including the angry black woman, the sassy mammy, the nymphomaniac, the DEI hire, and the tragic mulatto. Today we deal with the stereotype of the comic relief. One of the most memorable characters of the 1939 American epic historical romance film entitled Gone with the Wind was Prissy, a lighthearted and squeamish teenage house slave who was inclined to exaggeration. The movie was set in the late 1800s in the South. According to writer Susan Storer Clark, many Americans still envisioned the slavery-era South as a paradise filled with gallant young white men, beautiful white women, grand homes, and black people content to be enslaved. It has been a durable myth, one that many people still consider rock-solid history. The character of Prissy, played by Butterfly McQueen, took the viewer's mind off of the harshness of American chattel slavery, while at the same time reinforcing the stereotype that made some people comfortable with their assumptions and prejudices about black women. Prissy was also portrayed as incompetent in normal times and a liability in times of emergency. Only once does the author, Margaret Mitchell, hint that Prissy might have had some intelligence. Mitchell wrote, "She had sharp, knowing eyes that missed nothing and a studiedly stupid look on her face." It feels like Mitchell may have had an inkling that many times black females adopted this behavior as a way to deflect concerns regarding their mental acuity and as a technique necessary to survive in a culture that did not tolerate overt opposition well. It was sad to witness how the wings of presidential hopeful Vice President Kamala Harris were clipped by this very stereotype. Even though she is an amazingly accomplished and considerably competent individual, every aspect of her was criticized, including her laughter. Her detractors painted her as being incapable of standing up to an emergency situation. Many black women are thought of and dismissed in this same manner. This comical stereotype is dangerous because it relegates black women to a one-dimensional characterization, that of being incompetent in normal times and a liability in emergencies. Her voice often goes ignored or indulged until she turns into the angry black woman, which carries negative associations. There are times when some black women choose to operate in this emotionally taxing and undervalued stance. Most of the time, they do it in order to diffuse possibly dangerous situations involving family and close friends. Too often, these portrayals can negatively impact the self-image of black women and girls, leading to feelings of inadequacy and reinforcing societal biases. The solution involves promoting and supporting media that portrays black women in the diverse roles they routinely play, including leading, dramatic, and complex roles. Black people must tell their own story in ways that reflect the full spectrum of our experiences and identities. We must amplify the voices of black writers, directors, and producers who can bring authentic and nuanced stories to the screen. Additionally, we must actively challenge and question any media representation that relies on harmful stereotypes. Now you know more about the comic relief stereotype. Next, we deal with the Jezebel stereotype. Thanks for listening, and please follow.